Hello, explorers! Welcome back to Quiz Kingdom. Today, we're taking a journey through the beautiful world of animals with a general knowledge trivia quiz. Across 60 questions, you'll explore creatures from the deep sea, the open skies, the jungle, and even your own backyard. You only have a few seconds to answer, so stay sharp and trust your instincts. Hit like, subscribe, and let's begin our adventure into the animal kingdom. Which animal wins in a strength match? That would be the tiger. Which bird's famous for being able to fly backwards? Of course, the hummingbird can. Between them, who's got more limbs? The squid has more arms. Which one has the most teeth? You got this! The shark has 300 teeth, while the crocodile has 60. Which animal is able to catch some rest while still in midair? That clever flyer's the swift. Which tiny creature's actually the most dangerous of all? Surprisingly, it's the mosquito. Which animal has dark skin hidden beneath its fur? That would be the polar bear. Which little animal can stay asleep for up to 3 years? The snail can snooze that long. Which creature spends the whole winter in a deep sleep? That's the bear. How many grizzly bears are there in this picture? That's right, there were 12. Which furry animal can glide through the air? That's the flying squirrel. Which creature holds the title of biggest mammal on Earth? That would be the blue whale. Which tiny jumper can leap the highest compared to its body size? The flea wins that contest. Which clever animal can recognize its own reflection in a mirror? The dolphin can. Which little creature is often considered incredibly smart for its size? That would be the bee. Which animal on this list is the most dangerous predator? The tiger takes that spot. Which unusual mammal is known for laying eggs? That's the platypus. Which animal's famous for having an amazing memory? Of course, the elephant. Among these, who's packing the sharpest claws? The eagle has the fiercest talons. Let's switch it up. Find the odd one out. That's correct, it's right here. Which sea creature has no blood at all? That would be the starfish. Which animal's famous for delivering the most powerful punch? The mantis shrimp holds that title. Which creature's the champion at digging through the ground? That's the badger. Which animal has blue blood instead of red like ours? The octopus does. Which animal can switch its body color to blend in? That master of disguise is the chameleon. Which tall animal gets by on only about 1 hour of sleep a day? The giraffe does. Which animal is believed to have the best sense of smell? That would be the bear. Which big cat's often known as the king of the jungle? The lion, of course. Which animal's known for having an incredibly strong immune system? The shark does. Pay attention to these cups. Where's baby shark? found him. B. Which animal's ears keep growing for its whole life? That would be the elephant. Which animal has fingerprints almost exactly like a human's? The koala does. Which fish is famous for carrying its babies in a special pouch? That's the seahorse. Which insect is known for being the loudest noisemaker? The cicada holds that record. Which bird puts on a fancy dance to attract a mate? The peacock does. Which tiny creature can lift many times its own body weight? That would be the ant. Which bird's the tiniest of them all? The hummingbird is. Which one actually has lots of tiny teeth? Believe it or not, the snail. Which tiny animal can actually see ultraviolet light? The bee can. Find the missing puzzle to complete this picture. Which bird is widely used as a symbol of peace? That's the dove. Which large animal can take a nap while still standing up? The elephant can. Which ocean predator has the most powerful bite? That would be the shark. Which mammal can smell underwater by blowing bubbles and sniffing them? The seal does this trick. Which sea creature has the biggest eyes of all? The squid has those giant eyes. Which animal can stay underwater the longest without taking a breath? The whale holds that record. Which creature is often said to never sleep at all? That's the bullfrog. Which tiny creature can survive the vacuum of space with no suit? The tardigrade can. What land animal holds the record for top running speed? The cheetah's the fastest. Can you spot the real Chester cheetah? It's A. What tiny dessert animal goes its whole life without drinking water? That would be the kangaroo rat. Which sleepy creature can snooze for up to 20 hours a day? The koala does. Which animal has the fastest heartbeat of them all? The hummingbird's heart races the quickest. Which animal can grow back its tail after losing it? The lizard has that superpower. Which animal keeps its heart up in its head instead of its chest? The octopus does. Which sea creature can flip its own stomach inside out to eat its food? That's the starfish. Which bird can twist its head almost all the way around to look behind? The owl can. Which creature flaps its wings more times per second than almost any other? That would be the hummingbird. Which creature can actually taste using its feet? That clever insect is the butterfly. Look closely and find the odd one out. Bingo! Here! And that brings us to the end of How Good Is Your Knowledge of Animals? How many did you get right? And which animal fact surprised you most? Tell Froggy down in the comments. Thank you for watching the video, and now go ahead and pick your next challenge. Make sure to like and subscribe to our channel Quiz Kingdom for more fun quizzes like this, and see you in the next challenge.